check it out. We got some more exciting cars. Another favorite of mine. I try to find cars. It's hard, There's all the cars out there that you could buy, all the sizes, materials, what that they make them out of. Plastic, resin, diecast. I mean, there's so many price points. I think when you're in this hobby, you've got to concentrate on what you like, and then it becomes a little bit more exciting when you're on a hunt. So if you like these kind of cars or Corvettes or whatever, it's nice to try to go after them, no matter how they come. And if you're budget conscious, or if you want to be able to spread the wealth and try to get as many cars as you can, but still have a really good detailed vehicle that's satisfying. These Greenlight cars, they've been really, really good, and they came out of nowhere. I mean, they really only started probably in the mid early 2000s, and then they just kind of went from there, slowly built up their all their portfolio of vehicles. And this is the one that came out a couple years ago that I just love. I mean, I got this car, I knew it was coming out. I saw it in the store. I didn't even have to get it online or anything. And look at these things. I got a 74 and a 75 Monaco and 124 scale. I can't believe it. I mean, there's some issues with the car, but not that much. And this is one of my favorites. And I got two of the police cars just so I can have a little chase with the boys in their 74. And this is how the car comes stock. I didn't really detail these vehicles, and we'll go over the cars real quick. Let's take a look at the 74. Good looking car. At the flat paint, the car was kind of worn out by the time they got it from the auction, right? So this car has that look and grimy feel. They kind of airbrush or do a little dirt on the car. So, again, here we go. You can see that's done. Kind of gives it that dirt look that you remember from the movie. And you got your 74 grill, which, if you're looking at that introduction a little bit, you could see they did differentiate the grill, as you can see on that. We'll go over the police car in a minute, but we'll start with this one. Yeah, the boys went and got this at the auction. Yep. Comes with the push bar, separate, and it just snaps on, so it comes separate so it doesn't get damaged in the box. And then we'll go inside, open that door. But 74 Monaco, the one thing that they did, they got the wheels. They didn't have the big wheels back then, but they look a little small on the car. But even though this was a full-size car, so it still had a 15-inch rim anyway, so it was small, but it looks just a little undersized in this model. But it's a wire axle, solid axle car that you can just take it apart and you can swap it out. Since it's 1/24th, I mean, the body is such a great body, and it has good proportion that swapping the wheels with a model kit or any of the resin offerings now online, there's a bunch of guys that make wheels and tires, and then pretty easy swap. Yeah, car look really, really, really good. But even as it sits, you can see it's still well done. And it's got the bench seat interior, so that looks very good. Very base, of course. Very base equipment vehicle. And they have the Chrysler 3-spoke wheel, which is really cool. Like I said, I didn't detail the car or anything. This is just how it comes from Greenlight. You can see the molding, the rubberish material they use to mold the seats comes up a little bit different tan color. So, but they got the decal in there for the speedometer and the gauges. So really, if you just paint it a little bit, it would look awesome. Take it out, take it apart a little bit, airbrush it. Look real good. Again, this is how it comes. So it must probably later in the movie, the boys had their back window blown out or whatever from the shotgun. So this car, they took the back window out. And when you look how the other car is constructed, it is separate. It's not like a big shell that usually they do the windows with. This one is separate. So if you did take the car apart to paint, windows will come out. Yep, you just gotta coax them a little bit. There's the tail. It's missing the D on the Dodge. It's got dual exhaust, separately molded. Again, the only thing wrong when Greenlight was making these cars, they had like a license plate made for like a tiny car, like a 1/43rd scale or something. It's a small little Illinois tag there. Probably accurate. I haven't checked it, but other license plates I see matched up with their screen counterpart on the screen there. So there's your serial number. There's your little chassis, the Chrysler chassis. We're all familiar with the torsion bar. Kind of weakened under there, but don't have to spec much. The car's going to be up there. Real durable though, real solid construction. And it comes right apart, screwed in, not riveted. Take the whole car apart. Yep, whole car comes apart. So there's our 74 Dodge. Good looking unit. Yep, I'm going to put it back here. I'll roll this one forward. Yeah, I got two of these. They look so good. Nice glossy white paint. Greenlight has nice thick paint that they do. No opening features except the door, and you got your light bar. Yeah, it's all Tampo printed. It's got the Monaco script on the quarter. I cleaned up. The only thing that really was not, something I could fix right away was they applied silver to the hubcap. They didn't go out all the way to the edge, so just go in there with a pen and fix that, and it took that right up. So that looks a lot better. But the nice crisp molding on there, real crisp on that 7580 that they put up. And then we got separate headlights, so they're plastic, so they got a lens, and that's all done at the factory. So they got a really good, picked out the grill really well, and then that lower part's black plastic they insert in there. So a lot of parts they do with the vehicle. At the price point they're at, it's really, really good. Very heavy die cast. Dog leg hinge door hinges, but whatever. Nice solid stuff. This easily could, a kid got a hold of this thing, they could definitely play at this car and not have to worry about it. There's your black interior. Again, detailing would bring that right out. The car looked like $1 million. But for a collectible and something there to sit, I mean, look at that. It looks great. It's got the Chicago graphics. Look just really good. Really, really good. There's your tail lights. A little bit different than the 74. It's got the center. So they changed the lenses year to year. Cheap. Chrysler's always cost was on their list as usual, even back then. There's your dual exhaust. Again, a separate pipe they mold. You can see how thick that die cast is. The car weighs like a pound or two. I mean, even with all the plastic in it, it's still heavy. So yeah, they got their cars. So these kind of Monacos they took over for the Polara after '73. This was the flagship. And they had a Royal Brome, and they went to the Royal Monaco after the '77. So this Monaco nameplate took over the the Coronet. So cars were constantly changing back then. Try to stay ahead, but still a big full-size car. And then it went to the Newport St. Regis Fury cars all the way to about 81, 82, and that was the end of it. And then they went down to the Fifth Ave and Diplomat, and then they ended the rear-wheel drive from there until the Charger. But yeah, big time. This was the end of the era for Chrysler. They were big dominant players, especially in the police market, as we all know. If you follow these cars, really, really strong cars. They just were never kept up with the times, and it went to Ford and Chevrolet to carry the torch after that, pretty much. But they're coming back. Obviously, they got the Hemi Chargers and everything, so good for them. But here we go. Boys getting chased. And obviously, they we all knew who won in the end, right? Blues Brothers cars, guys. Greenlight, 124 scale. We got a 74 Monaco and 275 coming right up behind them. All right, guys. Till next time.